if I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Hey.
Hey. Like, I just saw Seabass like looking away and muted, and I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like,
So
same. But what's
right.
going on, people?
How are you? How are ya?
I am good. I'm back post my family trip for my nephew's graduation. He graduated with a whole bunch of like what is it? He was squad leader. He was private first class. He scored really high on a bunch of like testing and whatnot, and like performed
Seabass,
like
stop
top
doing that
of
with
his
your
class, top of his class for a bunch of stuff. So shout out to him. Very proud
Nice.
of you. And he'll be here for an extra couple of days because he's doing assignment for like an extra few weeks here. So has a
nice.
little bit of longer stay. We have him a little bit longer, and then he leaves on Halloween to his next assignment.
Assignment as far as like work?
He has like he has school, I believe, before he does job training for what he's going into the Marines for.
That's very good.
Or what he is a Marine for, rather,
Yeah.
because he's already graduated. It's
Oh,
so wild
okay.
to me.
No, that's
This
awesome.
kid's been wanting to like be a Marine since he was like 7.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, we come from like a military family, especially on his dad's side. So like his brother's a Marine, his dad's a retired Marine. He has uncles who's an Air Force retired. We got family who's Army, Navy, the whole like the everything. So like he was just like, bet I'm gonna be that guy. It's funny because he went in there saying I'm gonna be that guy, and then we had some of his people from his squad go, oh, so like your nephew that I was yeah, and they're like, yeah, he came in saying I was gonna be that guy, and he is that guy.
Okay. That's freaking awesome. I love
Very,
it.
very awesome.
More power to him.
I
Wishing him
can't
a bunch of success.
thank you. I'll send it to him. I came home on Friday to a wasp in my bed, a very angry wasp in my bed that I laid on because
Oh,
obviously I just didn't
so
see
that's
it.
why I was angry.
Oh yeah, he came like I came and ruined his time and his vacation. So I laid on him and I thought I had like something sharp in my bed. I was
Oh,
like,
you
"The fuck is
felt
that?"
it. Okay.
Oh, I fully like ripped off clothes and just passed out or attempted to. And then your man's went across my back and I was like, "What's that?" And then decided to move and just be more irritated and I was like, yeah, no, like genuinely freaked out, and I was like,
Oh
"So
God.
I'm gonna grab you. You're going into the toilet and get flushed. Sorry,
You
not
grabbed it
sorry.
by your hands?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Container.
There's a joke somewhere in there about bed and a prick, but I'm just not gonna do it. Not.
No, there
No.
is not. But
No.
hold on. Want to say the hellos. What's going on, Pong? I caught
Hey, Pong.
bits and pieces of shows this weekend. I was so out of it because I was so tired from just traveling this weekend. But shout out to you for the shows, and I hope you guys had fun over there. And then what's going on, Hugo?
Hey,
Welcome,
Hugo.
welcome. Happy Tuesday.
Come back
So
to
much love
Funkadactyl
for Hugo.
Tuesday.
For real. He's always supporting all of us. He was
Yo,
hanging out
Hugo's
with us
that
on
guy, man.
Saturday.
Absolutely. V, what was your weekend like? What you get into?
Well, Saturday we had an episode of TV.
Hey, welcome back from hiatus.
Yeah. We were talking about celibacy. Yeah.
Yo, y'all been coming in with the hot topics, yo.
It was an interesting topic that kind of spewed to different things.
Okay.
It was pretty good. I've been spending a lot of time organizing and decluttering though. So outside of that,
Getting your Marie Kondo on?
I'm gonna pretend I know what that is and say yes.
Oh my god!
You gotta look her up now.
I forget that you don't know a lot of references, but that was one that I thought you would get.
You probably would appreciate Maria
Girly, I don't
Kondo.
know.
No, it's more of
You
a
gotta
space
you gotta
server. You
watch.
appreciate it.
It's a Netflix show where she just like
Oh yeah,
teaches you like
Netflix. I'm lost on. If you guys don't tell me, I'm never gonna watch. If it's Hulu, Prime, and Disney Plus are where I live.
You
Seabass, get
that.
that out of the camera.
Seabass, what was your weekend like? And welcome back. We know you weren't here the last
Yes.
week.
Yeah.
We held it down despite you not being here and getting names wrong. How are you, sir?
Well, I've been building up the dad jokes and the bad jokes for the show while I was away.
Oh,
So prepare it's
you're
I'm
not
gonna give you
supposed to.
double the
Like
dose.
no one
I
asked.
have
No one
to.
wants it.
I
No,
have
we
to. I mean,
don't.
it's
We
fun.
don't.
It's
You don't.
Funkadactyl Tuesday. No, was spent most of the day.
Kind of since she was a kid.
Really? That's interesting. Okay.
So what was I saying?
Interesting.
Oh yeah, no, I just spent the time like unpacking, moving from one place to another, as you know, and now I'm in the new office and just chilling. It's just I just relaxed on Sunday. My body was just on fire.
Hugo, does anyone know the answer? I don't think Seabass knows the answer to that. He just does.
I'm reaching out.
things.
Hugo, I'm reaching out and touching someone. If whoever.
Don't touch somebody. Listen, we're gonna get so many copyright and legal claims on our videos now because you're saying wild shit like that. Let's not.
You want to know what's
Um,
wild?
Go ahead and do the announcements.
Announcements.
It's
You
so
missed
great.
it.
Yes,
You
let's go
missed
ahead
it.
and get in
You
there.
missed it. It was beautiful.
God. Oh my god, that was
I told you.
painful.
I'm making up for it.
Hey, wait. Come on. Like, why is this thing not loading? I'm bringing him in anyways. Bring him in.
Come in. Kobe,
No?
Kobe, you there?
What is
Kobe,
going on?
Kobe,
Oh, there he
Kobe,
is.
Kobe, you there? Kobe,
Hey.
there he goes.
Can you
Because
guys-
you're not gonna miss
you guys hear me?
announcements if we gotta sit through it. So do you.
Wow. That's so fucked up. Lord.
Damn.
Make sure you just
Fuck
subscribe
my
to
Twitch
our
channel
Yeah.
right now. I'm on my hiatus.
Even if he's on a hiatus, go subscribe.
subscribe,
was
subscribe
back
to my
on
other
TV.
shit. Buy my
That was
book.
back on TV. As you guys heard, they are back. Subscribe to Lost channels. Just give him the support. Buy his book. Buy his shit. Go over there and watch TV. They had some fun conversation about celibacy. You missed that, Tone. We were just covering that.
That's okay. Am I coming in on a delay?
No,
No.
you're good.
No,
No.
you are perfect.
That was the.
Okay, so
Don't
you
don't
guys
half-ass
are.
it,
ghost. You
Seabass.
got a
Don't
ghost
Which
half-ass
means I
figure.
it.
get to miss.
If you're gonna do it, do it right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the ghost flicker is. It may be, the house ghost. He's been chilling, so I don't know. But y'all are on a stutter, so I'm gonna miss the rest of these announcements while I restart my computer.
Okay, go enjoy. Go enjoy. Enjoy
All
those
right.
extra
You
few
know.
minutes.
You could,
enjoy
It is sending out an SOS, Hugo. It is send out the seals. It is. It's please.
the house ghost is like, oh
I'll
my
be
god,
back.
not
We
announcements.
can wait for you, Tone. We'll wait for you for the announcement.
Or
No,
you can just do
Oh,
it.
Get
man.
it, get it
I'm
done.
doing it.
Get it
It's
done.
getting
Wrap
done.
this shit up.
Make sure you guys are checking in Concrete Combat over there at Bonet Studios. Go over to waywardraven.com for We Suck at Comics. They're also going to be at Comic-Con this weekend. So anybody who is at New York City Comic-Con, make sure you're checking
Yes.
out Wayward Raven. They're going to have
bunch
definitely
of the
physical
homies
copies
who
there.
have been on the podcast will be at Comic-Con. Go show them love and support.
It's
We're
gonna
also going to be at New York
be-
Comic-Con this weekend.
And if you're part of the Creator AfterCon Discord, if you're going to be there during that New York Comic-Con weekend, there's going to be an announcement of a bar that a lot of us are going to meet up on Friday night.
Nice.
Stay tuned.
Wait,
What's the next one? Medusa's
sorry.
Cascade.
Oh crap. Seabass is back this week. I shall voice my opinion. Told house ghost. Oh,
That should be a shirt. Tone's House Ghost.
oh man. I believe the next episode is an actual play of the podcast for the Medusa's Cascade. We have stuff in the works for when the anniversary, which is coming up very soon. I think it's like within the next few weeks, we have the 3-year anniversary of the podcast for the Medusa Cascade. So be on the lookout for a bunch of stuff on socials for that. Look out the website, all that good fun stuff. This past week, Tommy dropped a little bit of like a lore NPC spotlight nugget, which was just so good. It was a very well done spotlight on an NPC that we briefly met in the campaign, and everyone was like, oh. So if you guys aren't caught up, please go do so, because we're almost actually at a point now where the arc episodes are going to catch you up to real time, in actual time.
Ooh. And also too, when we start to hear about Kyver's wild shit. So also,
We are getting in the thick of that shit. Oh my god.
Also, to make sure you guys are checking out Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze is over there on Tuesdays, right before our show. They go in at 8 a.m. They do their hour. Make sure you're also subscribing to Lu Cyph's new Lu Cyph's album, The Motive, over there at Spotify or wherever you listen to music. And then make sure you're checking out Pong over there at the Sin Shop every Monday and Fridays. He was doing the Robot Fighting League. And then finally, catch our friends over there at the Four Letter Nerd on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Shout out to Mike for stopping by last week and stepping in for Seabass. That was fun.
Tag. It's always good to have a little bit of mayhem, a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning.
Sure.
And with a little bit of thunder and a little bit of lightning.
A little bit of lunder?
Lunder. There we go. Blunder.
Pong, you already know what it is.
Down there. Put
you
it on the list, Pong.
A little bit of lunder
instead of thunder.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
get it on there.
That was just pure laziness. I am sorry. No, I'm not.
No, it was
anyway.
It was,
wow.
Shit. I mess up words. That's what I do. But without further ado, he's returning back to the show. Blunderstruck. There you go.
Yo, coming in hot. We love you for it.
Talk to Hugo about shirts. But returning to the show, he is the other Tony, the Tony with the mustache. Give it up for Tony James.
Hey guys,
welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
And welcome back, Tone.
Yes, now everyone is correct and all is well in the world.
Good job. That was a quick restart.
You guys are one Tony away from Tony.
What's up, Tony? How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
You know, hanging in there, one day at a time.
Tony J is actually one of the creators you're gonna get to meet this weekend over there at Comic-Con. You're excited for this weekend, aren't you, brother?
Yes, man. I'm trying to beat this cold right now, so I have some higher energy on Friday.
Oh, hop up on that orange juice, and then you go to the con. You get your con code, and you'll be good to go for the holidays. You know,
there you go. You get it early in October, so that by December you're good to go.
Take lots of ginger tea.
Yeah. Definitely.
Rub some Vicks all over you. You know,
Vicks fixes everything.
We're gonna just give you the Puerto Rican remedies.
Just beer and hot wings. We got you Friday.
Just get some Spanish grandma to give you some sancocho soup. Rub Vicks all over it. You'll be fine by tomorrow. Have a little bit of Sprite on the side. You're good.
Oh my god.
For sure.
Right. No, stay away from the Sprite.
Tell me I'm wrong. But Tony, it's been a while. What have you been up to since we last saw you?
Since you last saw me, I did a follow-up Indiegogo campaign because Star Noir did really well on Kickstarter, and people kept messaging me. So I did an Indiegogo, and I raised like $4,000 on the Indiegogo. And then we made the book. There it is, right here.
Nice.
And then now we jumped in with the second book, and now we have the Kickstarter for the second book that's live right now.
Yep. Kickstarter link is in the comics, guys. So yeah, you've been busy. I want to congratulate you on Star Noir, which was a great read. I love the art. Very bloody scene for those who don't know. So you definitely want if they want to get a copy of #1, where can they go?
Well, right now it's through the Kickstarter. You can actually get both books together. So yeah, it's through the Kickstarter right now. Or if you happen to find me at Comic-Con, I'll give you one.
Nice. Just buy him beer, Vicks, and emergency this weekend.
Yeah, all of those things. Yeah.
No, but yeah, you're going into #2. #1 was very successful, so successful, went right to Indiegogo, and again, getting to read the book. I like the dynamic that you create with the detective that you have there. Especially it seems like he's going through his own things and issues. You lay a lot of little nuggets in there in that first issue. With obviously there's something wrong in his past. He solves cold cases, and then now he's been partnered with someone, and then it's like this whole little nice surprise of who the partner is. But it's a pretty great first read, and the artwork is beautiful. So guys, definitely check out that link in the Kickstarter. I put #2 there. So again, you're getting a great follow-up story with this.
The new art is even better. It's all on the Kickstarter, so you can check that out.
Looks beautiful. Actually, do we have a page up yet? Seabass, can you pull up a page for it?
I have the page of the current book. If you want to see the current book.
No, I was gonna say pull up the Kickstarter so we can take a look at that.
I got you. Right now, I'll pull up the Kickstarter. We'll take a nice little gander at this. Let's go here. It's coming up. So you know what? I just don't want to slow up over here. Gotcha.
From book 1 to book 2, what major differences are you like looking to bring? I'm sure we're getting obvious story progression. You said the art got way better. Is there anything from the first book that you wish you did that you're now doing in the second book?
No, because we really kind of made this a really tight story, and we have all of these scripts written, so we're just basically just running the play that we've been planning for the last like couple of years or so.
Gotcha.
So it's really just tightening some things here and there, but all the major beats, everything that we want to do for each issue is still in place, and it's the same team. So yeah, everything's been great.
Nice.
So I just want to show here now. It's finally popping up. Give me a minute. Got the Kickstarter.
Chappelle.
Look at you, basically halfway there with 37 days to go. You are going to crush this.
Yeah.
Like, woof.
Jesus, already halfway there. That's beautiful, bro. Again, the artwork, again, like I said,
about this point in the campaign last time for the first book, we were at like 22%, and now we're like 46%. So we're doing really great. I mean, the first day was kind of incredible. I mean, going from like a book 1 that made $700 in one day to making like $2,500 in the first day.
Nice.
Well, no, it's a really good book. Definitely. And again, it was great Kickstarters to support. It's one of the many that we've had the honor again to cover. And like I said, I was sitting down there, I'm looking at the artwork, the story.
Yeah.
We definitely capture the era in the writing with this book and all that. So those who love pyramid pieces too, period pieces, this definitely captures that era of, I believe it was the 60s you covered. You definitely got a lot of that sci-fi aspect that's in there as well, that's sprinkled in there, and again, you give enough to the reader where they're kind of getting the idea where this is going, but you still want more. I love the whole gangster element.
Yeah, you could play the video. It's a minute long. We do like a previously on, and it kind of breaks down the whole story in a really concise way.
Let's see, does it play? Just forgive me, it's a new setup. Do you hear anything?
I don't.
I don't hear nothing. Technical Tuesdays for everybody, man.
No, I'm on a new setup.
Okay. No,
well,
it's usually a Mac thing when Mac's screen share. No worries.
Well, I'll tell you what happens. So the second book picks up right where the first book left off. I mean, it's literally the same day. Like it's like early morning at the end of the first book, and then we're like we link up with the two detectives in the afternoon. Alan, the main character, the main detective, he's trying to kind of explain away the alien encounters that he's seen up to this point, and then he meets a club singer named Stella Belafonte. And she has her own sort of sci-fi.
I love this pinup.
Yeah. So, and you can tell by her eyes that what her secret might be. And that is a pretty tense encounter that Alan has with her, and that coupled with learning more about Patrick Perkins, the guy who died in the first book, right in the opening scene, that really kind of solidifies that what he's seeing is real, and he needs to start accepting that reality in order to solve this murder case.
And again, it's number 1 gets you gripped in there. So again, I'm excited that you got number 2 coming out. Again, as we just showcased, the artwork is very beautiful. Guys, the Kickstarter link is in the comment section. Make sure you guys are going there, supporting the Kickstarter. It's already halfway there. About 46%, and definitely this is a good read. If you've missed the first book,
by the time New York Comic Con's done, you're going to be looking at a lot of push.
He's going to be lit. He's going to be lit.
What's great about this Kickstarter is that if you've not read the book, the first 9 pages are available right on the campaign page. You just click the link right there, and then you get to take to a PDF to read the first 9 pages. So you can just check it out for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it or Sebastian's word for it. You can kind of really see for yourself.
No, take my word for it.
You can't really trust Sebastian. You can't trust him as far as you can throw.
Right.
And I can't throw him that far. So
I buy my friends beer. Stop it. No, but it was no, it's just awesome to see like I said, we were joking in the background, knew you would before you had the mustache, but it's like this has been your project that you've been really honing and working on for a while now. Seeing it now, you got issue 2 coming out. Again, I just want to congratulate you, brother, and can't wait to see you this weekend over there at Comic Con.
Yeah.
And just getting the word out there even more about this book.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been really exciting, really exciting. The response to it has been really awesome.
Damn, you wow.
God
Hugo comes
damn.
from the gut. Yes.
Yo.
Love it.
That's fine, Hugo.
man.
No beer and wings for you.
Sebas, say the word he just put. I just wonder.
Enunciate.
Okay.
Half the time it's laziness. Come on. We've
Yo.
already established that. I know it.
You
I
go
know it.
looking like Harrison
I love
Ford.
it. I love it.
Pick Han Solo or pick Indy. Just shoot from the hip. Oh boy.
So we got a great episode tonight because we're covering Ahsoka. We have Tony James
Ashoka.
coming up. Ashoka, yep. Ashoka.
A smoking a pancake.
Oh, isn't it? Isn't it?
I'm all in
Isn't
the
it
blitz.
Ahsoka, like A-H-S-O?
Yeah, I'm just bad at saying stuff. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. Just let it roll. Just let it roll off the tongue. It's as bad as when I was saying the names of Game of Thrones. But Law, you might like this one. Elof Roth says he wanted his Borderlands movie to keep the spirit of the games and say it's bananas.
No, he doesn't. He's a liar.
Y'all
He's a
still
liar.
talking about this trash ass movie? That's
He's
coming
a
out there?
liar
Apparently-
because then he would have gotten the casting correct and not done some
Apparently he-
abomination of a
he-
fucking.
he
We're
had
not
the
talking
creator
about
of
this
the
right now.
he had the creator of the game, Randy Pitchford, actually entertain some of his ideas.
They get the. What are we talking about right now?
No, just some quick,
How,
quick
how,
nerds
how
news.
much I'm not gonna watch. I'm looking forward more to or more at
I doubt
the
it, Pong.
the Five Nights at Freddy movie that's coming out. I'm looking forward to that way more than I am for Borderlands.
Also, too, rumors of the following of the names that were the titles for the episodes for What If. We're gonna get Peter. We might be getting Peter Quill attack Earth's mightiest heroes. Cole reshaped the. I can't even say that name. Hela found the 10 rings. Iron Man crashed into the Grandmaster.
Jesus Christ.
Happy Hogan saved Christmas. Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper. The Avengers assembled in 1602.
Are we getting
Supreme.
those this
Strange
year, or is
Supreme
What If
interview.
Yeah.
doing next year?
We
Yeah.
are no. We are getting them this year. And I know the first one is essentially the cut episode from season 1, the Gamora one,
Mhm.
because you know how she shows up and the multiverse things are like, "Girl, where were you?" And it was like budgets. So we're gonna get her story of how she got there in that first episode, and then the Captain Carter one is supposed to be like Steve Rogers is essentially Winter Soldier. The whole the Buster is I think it's Sovietized, which isn't a word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
So those are
Yeah.
going to be fun. And then finally, I wanted to touch up on DC news. Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa won't reprise their current roles in the DCU, but
So
Momoa
first of all,
is in
for-
talks.
wait.
Momoa is in talks for
I didn't
Lobo.
know.
None-
I didn't
none
know
of them.
I didn't know Wonder Woman was from District 12. That's. I didn't know Gale was Wonder Woman.
So none of the Justice League members
I
are
don't-
reprising their roles. That's been confirmed. But
But
they
Momoa-
are also looking at Jason Momoa as Lobo, which
Which
we've
is
been
way better.
asking for since
Which is
before he
better.
got cast as Aquaman. Because I honestly love him as Aquaman, but he's an underutilized Aquaman. And he's not. I want.
Or we
the
can just go with brand new people and scrap it all.
I'm here for him as Lobo, but I also would rather the Aquaman that we had in the Justice League with the blonde hair who hates people no matter if you're from the sea or if you're from land and has a hook for the hand. Give me him.
We do want the
Oh.
hook for a hand.
Yo, he was that guy.
Old man Aquaman. But yeah, that's just the geek news right there. Just a little bit of stuff that's going on out there in the geek world. But Val, what are we talking about today? Come on.
Ahsoka.
Val's been waiting for this.
Yo, for real.
For weeks.
The
First
fact
of
that
all,
the fact that we talked anything except Ahsoka the last few weeks
It's
has
so
been driving her nuts.
you guys don't understand. Like, first of all, you guys know how much I love Star Wars, and then the Rebels series, and how invested I was, and now Ahsoka, which gave me everything that Rebels had, and then some. And what are we doing? The last 5 episodes, right?
Doing
Because that's
everything. Let's just do
okay.
a let's just do a show, a retrospective, if you will, so that we don't need
Alright.
to go down this rabbit hole of which episode did this, which episode did that. Let's just
That
talk
works for
about
me.
how we felt about the show, how Hayden Christensen is coming back into the fold, and we
I
need to
love
see
him
him some
so
more.
much.
He's
Yes.
he is getting the appreciation that he
He
deserves now.
deserves. Oh my
Um,
god.
How Thrawn was fantastic. We got some Death Troopers, and then
Yes.
we also and
Yes.
then we're
The
really going in on
Witches
this
of
Morty Scott's
Dathomir.
thing, which is
Yes.
very cool. And I will say we were talking about it before, and how we felt the Marvel shows and the other Star Wars shows were very much like, fuck you, watch everything and enjoy. And Dave Filoni really just said, hold my beer. Fuck you. Watch everything so you can really enjoy this, because we are going down the rabbit hole as we go into Ahsoka season 2, the Dave Filoni Star Wars Avengers movie, as we finally figure out what is happening with the First Order before we get into the trash sequels, as I call them. So yes, so let's do a retrospective of Ahsoka Rebels season 4, season 5. I'm not sure. I'm sure Vmac will correct me, and let's get to it. Vmac, you wanna kick us off?
Well, I have to say my favorite episode was definitely episode 5, where we see Ahsoka in the world between worlds, and we also get Anakin's Force ghost.
We know, Arelis, you've been waiting for
I know.
Ezra for
Yo,
years.
For years.
Since
which is
Mando
freaking
season
awesome.
1.
Right.
For real.
I'm waiting. I want to see what happens now that they brought him back into this galaxy. Where does that go? What happens to him from then to where the what's the order is first order comes
First Order.
over or whatever,
First Order.
right? These idiots. So I'm really
Essentially.
interested to see. I wonder how, if Ezra ties into at some point Luke rebuilding the Jedi Order, or how that works. So if they tie that in, that'll be pretty dope. But getting to see the episode where you go back in time and you see young Ahsoka in the battle, in the Clone Wars battle, and then also in the battle on the Mandalore, and that gave
Vmac,
me
let me ask you something. Did you die on the inside when you heard Anakin call her Snips?
yes! I was waiting for her to say "Fly Guy." I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so great.
For those who didn't wonder, Val
My
is a
emotions
big-
have emotions.
For those of you who were watching the Clone Wars and for 6 seasons and then waited years and got your 7th season, that was for you.
Yes, it was so great. It was so great. That episode, he's like, I wasn't in this war. He's like, this was after I left you, and the battle for Mandalore. I mean, it was just a good moment seeing Ahsoka's character really grow and come to terms with. I think she's been so shut down because of how that happened. The last time she's seen Anakin was he was already Darth Vader. When they faced off in Rebels,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and she couldn't bring herself to really fight him, obviously, because he's her master. So it was interesting to see also Thrawn's reaction to finding out that she was his apprentice. Um,
Mhm.
what that means entirely. I need to know more about Thrawn's relationship with Darth Vader, or previously, if he even knew who he was when he was Anakin. So I'm gonna research that. That's something that I don't know about, and I'm interested to finding that out.
Is it a thing where when
There's
he
a book
became
by
Vader,
Yeah, there's
like
a book by Timothy Zahn that there is a mission that he did with Anakin, as well as time frame that they were together at while he was Vader.
well,
So-
I was gonna ask more so like, is it one of those things where everyone knows Anakin became Vader, or
No,
only a handful of people like have
I
that
think-
information?
I think he got rid of everyone who knew, but Thrawn is smart enough to know without actually being told or putting
And
it
even-
to that he knew.
And even
Right.
Leia, like I told you, like we were talking before, like they leaked that Leia's father was Vader,
Yeah.
and that essentially stopped her from running the Senate. Like she's
Yeah,
still
in
a
the
senator.
books.
Like you can't really do anything about that. but her like
Oh my
she
god, I'm
never
seeing C3PO.
Yeah, seeing
but
C3PO was great.
she wasn't running the Senate like she could have because
Mhm.
they essentially blackmailed her and not blackmailed her, but they leaked that Darth Vader was her father and it was a whole thing. Yeah. So they
Tony.
did keep it really, really hidden.
Yeah, Tony, chime in.
Tony, chime in because we want you to, like, this is your first time on the
Yeah,
show
don't
talking
let
about
me
this.
over
So come
talk
on,
because
give
I'm
us your
a freak.
whole, give us your
I-
whole thing.
I'll keep it 110%. I like Star Wars. I don't love Star Wars. I like it. I think the Ashoka series, there are little details that I'm super into. I like that there are white lightsaber crystals. I feel like I haven't seen that since the video game Knights of the Old Republic. So that was pretty cool to see. I loved episodes 4 and 5. Those were the most interesting. But I feel like I really identify with like the actor from Kim's Convenience. He plays like Captain Teva or something like that.
Oh yeah.
He has a great line in episode 5 that I just sums up like my experience of watching it, where he like asks about the kid who's force sensitive, and then the droid explains it, and he goes, "Okay." I just like it's like every time he explains something, you're like, "All right, so they're flying whale squids that have interdimensional travel, and we don't know where we're going." Okay, all right, let's do it. All right, let's go.
Just down for the shit.
That's some
Yeah.
Star Wars for you.
Are you talking about Huang?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not Huang. Huang's the
Huang.
robot.
Which character?
Teva, he's the pilot that we keep seeing in every like Star Wars.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, he's with them when they're searching for Ashoka in the water.
I like how you reference Kim Convenience because that's where I know him from too. He's awesome as Appa.
It's funny. It's funny. Like my girlfriend and I, we watched that show so much that when he appeared and he was doing like not the accent that
Like
we're
the
all,
acting.
it felt like he was doing
It's
a bit.
weird.
You're like, stop!
weird.
What is this? What are you doing? Come on, do the real voice.
But it's funny because
Kim's Convenience.
Yeah.
It's funny though because it's like Kim's Convenience. It has Simu Liu, and it has the actor who plays Appa, and now they've gone on to play into bigger franchises after Kim's Convenience, which had like about I think 3 seasons on Netflix, which was really good. But no, it's the joke is going around that he's essentially becoming the Wong of the Star Wars universe. That he's just popping up all of a sudden out of nowhere.
I can see that.
I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get why the big guy, the purple guy that from Mando.
Oh, Zeb.
Zeb, thank you. Yes. I'm mad they didn't give me Zeb in this series. I thought he would at least
I thought Zeb was gonna roll up in an X-wing, man.
Well, I thought so too because he's in the Rebel Army and he's with this guy. So I'm like, why would?
And then
Zeb
they clearly show him on that wall, like that mural.
Oh yeah, because that mural is in Rebels. Sabine painted it, so you hint him in Mandalorian, but you don't bring him in an actual show that all of his co-cast members are in. I was upset about that.
They might bring him later on because it's like with everything how it's going down because it doesn't seem like Zeb was a part of the same unit when they introduced him and reintroduced him in live action because him and damn it, I gotta get what was the actor's name again? Tony from Kim's Convenience.
Paul Sung-hyun.
Paul Sung-hyun's character, it doesn't seem like him and his character were part of the same unit when he got drafted to go help what's her face with who Winstead's character plays. Val, you know who the green Dalek or something like that. Hera. Totally. So it just seems like they're part of different units. So yeah. So we probably will get him later as everything's going down. Ezra's reunited with her, and now this threat of Thrawn's coming back. So
he played Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I did not know that.
He took over. He took over. He took over for if I'm not mistaken, he took over for the original voice actor.
Yeah. He took over.
Tony, you were gonna say something.
I just pulled his IMDb. That's why.
Another thing that I liked was seeing Anakin with a young Ahsoka, and it really just took me back to the Clone Wars animated show. So that was cool to see. And I didn't know that actress that plays the young Ahsoka, she was
Gamora.
Gamora in Infinity War, and in the Barbie movie also.
Yep. She was in the Barbie movie, young Gamora. So she's getting roles right now. So she's already been in 3 major franchises. Which you're counting this one. So it's like, yeah,
But
and that's a great
actually,
career already starting.
correction on the Uncle Iroh. So, and I knew I saw that because I saw him in a video with Dante Basco. Greg Baldwin took up his role after Mako died.
Oh, is Greg
After-
Paul the one who also
okay.
dresses up as him too and goes to cons?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
So
I'm trying to figure out which version of Iroh he did do, because I vaguely remember that he did.
Did he
but-
do Iroh in that movie you don't talk about?
no, he was not
No,
Iroh in that
he was
movie.
definitely not Iroh.
He was
there.
not Iroh.
Okay.
We don't talk about
Did he
that.
do it
Yeah,
as a
no,
voice, or
he
is
wasn't.
he? So see, now we're going to tangent. Like we have to find out.
We're
what
going.
version
We're
of
going.
Iroh.
No, we don't. We don't. We go. Stay on the Ahsoka. Let's stay on task.
Ahsoka.
Stay on task. All right.
Stay on Ahsoka.
Let's not jump down Captain Teva's past. Doesn't matter.
Either
Exactly.
way,
We don't need it.
Right.
I need it.
No, you
Anyway,
don't.
You
go ahead.
don't.
Go ahead.
You don't.
No, we don't.
We don't. No, we don't.
Anyway, go ahead. Lead on with it, because I gotta say this is as someone who's never saw Rebels, and and I know that some people were trying to give the show heat because they're like, oh, they're making you have to jump to watch all these other shows in order to know what's going on. You didn't need to. It was a nice jumping on point for these characters. And I would say the same thing that what was it, the One Piece live action did for me with having to go back to watch the animation, which I happily say I'm on episode 20 right now, I believe.
So you're not even a percent
No,
in.
not even.
I had a move and other shows to watch too.
No
No.
one's clowning you, but like you don't say episode 20 as
Like
in
it
it
means
ends in
something.
24 episodes.
I know, because it's
You're like,
so
oh, I'm in
many
episode 20. I got 4 more to
episodes.
go.
You're like,
I'm
oh,
I'm
yeah.
episode
I
20.
was
I got
20.
The fact is
980
this.
to go.
Wait, but this is the
Yeah.
fact. I said for so many years I wasn't gonna watch that show. After I watched the live action, I'm like, oh, I need to know what goes on in this universe now. Now I'm watching the fucking show.
One thing I will say, because I'm
eat
totally
fruit.
getting off One Piece. Totally getting off One Piece. Okay. Ezra. So getting Ezra back on and seeing him in live action, I was really thrown off at the fact that there was no emotional connection. Like Sabine just traveled to an intergalactic galaxy, and you didn't go to hug this guy, nothing. And then when he sees Hera, there was no hugs or love, nothing.
I mean,
It was like,
he's been what?
mean,
He's been living with
does he
the
stink that
with the
bad?
with the
turtles.
turtle insects and growing out his beard for a couple years now. You know,
don't hug your friend
Listen,
that you
he's new.
just
He's new Space Jesus.
he is new space
no,
Jesus.
no. I do like this whole push
Listen,
force thing he was
Obi-Wan.
doing. Though.
Obi-Wan's gonna have
fire.
his mural on Grandma's wall replaced.
I mean, but you can put Ezra on Ofrenda. He looks Spanish enough.
Right?
Right.
Those pierced blue eyes, like holy crap.
I
man.
have a question.
Go for it.
Between the Obi-Wan show and the Ahsoka show, the episodes that really seem to transcend the Disney Plus bubble are the ones with Anakin Skywalker. So why is there not an Anakin show?
I'm sure there will be. I would hope, because the love that Hayden Christensen is getting right now, I think that and how much popularity is continuing to grow and how much people are resonating with his character that he didn't get when it first came out. I think it will lead to it, or we'll get something more.
I think
My thing is, like,
what would
I
do
can
I
see
think
us
what would do
getting
better a Darth Vader show. I don't
Yeah.
see them, because we explored Anakin's story already of how he led up to Darth Vader.
I don't
But
even know
I
if
can
we
see us
can
getting
do
the adaptations from the comics that we got.
I would love that. I just don't know if Disney's gonna go full hog and do a Darth Vader show, because
I
like
see why not.
he fucking falls. Like
Yeah, it gets real dark.
he gets real dark. He falls. Like
What's that?
there's
What's that
no-
line? What's my favorite line?
oh,
Tone?
when all the other soldiers are around, I'm just surrounded by dead men. It's the best.
It's a great Yo, there's
It's
very
such a
few
flex.
lines in the fucking history that go
You
that
know?
hard.
And I just don't know. I don't know. I really don't know because it's like I don't need I need a Darth Vader
Mm-mm.
show. Like there should not be any redeeming qualities. There shouldn't be any
No,
light
it
side. It
needs to
should
be
literally
dark. It
be
needs to be
him,
fucked up. It needs to
him
be him killing
hunting
people.
Jedi, him
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. But then,
I
Well,
but
do you
then,
think they're gonna give
are
us
we?
a Disney Star Wars show
where
that essentially
I
we're
think
asking for what we're supposed to be getting with
I
the
think it
fucking
depends if
Daredevil show?
I think it depends of how Acolyte does because Acolyte's
Yeah.
supposed to be dark side focused,
I
and
think the
also
smart
we got Trinity as a Jedi Master, which I'm
I
fucking here
really
for.
just
I
want
think the smart move. I think the smart move would be not to do a show like how they're doing shows that are appearing during that time in the Empire that you sprinkle Vader in a little bit of that and give these moments, but
Yeah.
don't give him a show. But you keep him on Ahsoka, with him just like as a Force ghost, and he's just really trying to rebuild that whole thing with his Padawan. This
I
is
would be
his just
interested to see
Roach's.
them like can make Star Killer canon again, and that's how we get a Vader show without Vader.
I mean, it's I
That would be crazy.
I would introduce Star Killer after the fall of the Empire. Where does he do now? The Empire has fallen. Where has he been this whole time? You can integrate him easily into, and I think that that would be a better story to tell because if you get out of that era that you're pigeonholed into having to make sure you don't mess up stuff because you know what's going on between the movies and the shows, but doing what's after because I feel like this is
Well,
what I feel like this is what the show has done is that it's opened up a lot more room where yeah you do have to write that we still have that new three equals trilogy but you've
Mhm.
also opened up where you can also do other stuff away from that three cool trilogy now. What this show has done with opening up a
I
different
was just
universe.
thinking of making those games canon again because Force
Mhm.
Unleashed was canon up until what, like
Up until all the extended
the,
stuff.
yeah.
All the games were canon until the extended stuff came.
Well, what would be wrong with like a Clone Wars show with Anakin, just focusing on different battles that he did at the time before he was Darth Vader?
Nothing wrong with that. I would totally love it, Tony.
Yeah.
After
mean-
what I saw, I want it all.
I mean,
I mean, what they showed in the Force vision that Ahsoka was having, where they were showing the Clone Wars. It's like I'd watch a whole series of just this.
I would. I would love to see him come across the Bad Batch, the real life version. I would love to see him come across every single thing that we saw in Clone Wars. I would see it in live action. I want it. I'm here for it.
but does that fear? For me, it's that fear of oversight. Like these
I don't
scenes
care.
would be beautiful live action, but you could kind of do it this way. Um, you could kind of give an anthology series similar to that, where we're getting a lot of like different stuff, different
We get
moments happening.
anthologies already with Star Wars. That I don't. We don't need that.
No, but the anthologies that they're doing right now, they're just
It's
different
trash.
visions of outside of the. Listen, you.
Yo, Val is spicy today.
I'm back one day and damn.
Am I?
So
I don't see
it's
that
more
one.
so because Star Wars is your franchise. Like it's basically Game of Thrones or that universe, Star Wars, which tones that degree too. But like Tone will drop those two for Berserk and like die on that hill
Nah.
before he dies on anything else.
Game of Thrones
You-
is not getting dropped. Star Wars is not getting dropped, and anything
Ex-
Marvel is not getting dropped. Oh, and anything Naruto is not getting dropped.
Exactly.
Over
You know
for
what I'm
me.
saying? So like right now, that's your like, listen,
Yeah,
it is what it
it's my
is.
shit. It's my shit. Right, exactly.
Right,
Which is
right.
why I
Before
don't fuck with
Before
Ryan
we
Harry
had a
dive a
question.
anymore.
little bit deeper into this conversation, Hugo once asked, so about the State of Thrones ship and forces and such, I think we can determine that Peridia's on the wrong side of the galactic tracks. But also, Thrawn was so strained on resources. But how many space mines did they put around the planet for the whales? That was a lot.
Yeah.
Because
It's-
Maybe they were
was it
already
deter-
there.
I was gonna say, was it determined that like he
No,
put
because
them up
then they
there?
would have been because that when they first came in with the circle thing, they didn't come across that, and they came in through the same entry point.
That's true.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So
But
being that
afterwards.
they already anticipated her showing because of the witches predicting it, they prepared for it ahead of time. And since his
That's
ultimate goal was to
wild.
leave, he set it up. And Thrawn is you. I mean, you guys haven't really read the books other than Tone. I don't. Tony, did you read any of Thrawn series books?
No, I didn't read it. I didn't read any of the Timothy's. That's one of those like I want to, I just never got to.
Tony, did you read
Tony?
anything?
Nope. I've played mostly the video games. Like that's
Okay.
where my knowledge of Star Wars is. It's mostly in the video games.
Okay.
And I really do like Revenge of the Sith. That's the one I really like the most.
Yeah.
I liked Anakin Skywalker when he first showed up. I know everyone was
Yeah.
hating on him at the time, but I was super into that.
Yeah,
But
I like Kristen Henderson, not the young kid with the bowl cut.
But
No.
touching up like you said, VMAC, about Thrawn, it's
Hayden
like
Christensen?
just to
Thrawn's-
show this show
Did you
shows
say
That is
Christian
how
that-
much of
Haydenson?
a
Did I say it backwards?
You said it backwards.
No,
Did you?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, no,
no,
no.
Hey,
but,
It
Hayden.
took, it's all right.
Hayden
It took me a
Christensen.
second to
Fine.
like
I
delay.
mess up all the time. You get it, but no, it showed how much Thrawn. For those who didn't know him, it definitely established how much of a strategist he is.
Yes.
And even when
to
he was
the
like,
10th
"Don't
power.
sleep," he was like, "Don't sleep on people" and all that. When they were like, "Oh well," it's like, "No, don't sleep on them."
When he
He's
kept
like,
saying
"He is
selflessly
acceptable
suspected.
losses, I was like, bro.
His character,
Yeah.
so the way that
seemed
he
pretty legit to me.
calculates the way he calculates his movements, and this is one of the things that's subtle, but unless you know the character, you won't really know. When he asked for the witch to give him all the info she had on Ahsoka, he wanted to know who was her master. He wanted to know where she's from, what's her race. He wanted to know everything because how he reads people's actions and responses, or how they're going to react towards him or play out certain things, is based on their artwork and culture. So he studies different species artwork just so he understands how people think. And the fact that he found out that Anakin was her master, it gave him there was a, you can see the sense of dread in him because he has some history with Anakin. I don't know if he has it as pre Darth Vader or after, but definitely Thrawn thinks 10 million steps ahead. And there was a reason why they feared him returning. When the story with Heir to the Empire, he's the closest thing. He was worse than Palpatine because he was much smarter and he was not diluted by the sense of unrealistic power. It was more about controlling it in a certain way that people were submissive to you on their own terms. So he was much smarter and was able to do more than what Palpatine ever did with much less resources.
And that's the thing that I liked
Absolutely a
about, because
strategist.
Lars Milkinson played him very perfectly. Because again, I've only seen pictures, heard of Thrawn, read like synopsis of the character, but see him actually live in the show.
It was good.
It was a different feeling from all the other generals, even who we saw in the Mandalorian, who had the Darth Vader 2.0 armor. That what's his face played
Moth.
Moth Gideon. It seemed like he wasn't obsessed with power. He was just like, you know what, the long live the Empire, and it's like it just, there was this different feeling you got from this character that just like it made him more fearful, but also he was just very calculating. I've never seen any of the other generals like.
I
Well, he's not a
wanna.
general, he's an admiral.
Yeah,
And
He's-
moths are different. So the hierarchy is admiral is, well, he was just a below Palpatine, and he was the only one that wasn't human.
But
And
wasn't
then
he Grand Admiral? So that's even
Yes,
like, higher or some shit like that.
exactly. The thing is, Palpatine did not like non-human. He was a little bit racist, and anyone who was non-human was beneath him. So most of his grand admirals, like the old school guy, whatever, they were all human, and he had them close to him. But he recognized Thrawn's intelligence, Thrawn's power, that he gave him the outer rim. So he used to run the outer rim on the low kind of thing. But he was the only one non-human grand admiral that Palpatine gave. So he was expected to be the next in line when the Empire fell.
Interesting. I was gonna say, speaking of power, because we really we talked about him when we first talked about Ahsoka the series, but can we talk about Ray Stevenson and like his performance throughout? I love this character and I love how he was portrayed, but I don't know that I understood like how his story ended, and I wasn't sure if it was like because he had passed, and like I don't know if he passed like during production or after.
No, he passed after.
It was
Yeah, it was
after. Yeah.
Because
after.
even the when they said the thank you Ray that they aired at the end of the first episode, that was added in post
Okay.
production. Like that was added like right before the release.
So my question is, like, he seemed like he was on like this pursuit of something, and I don't really understood, or not understood. I don't really
The Mortis
understand.
gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
They
what?
Like
go ahead, Val.
he's supposed to be a reflection of the father, right?
Yeah, it was so
he was
I
on the statue that he was on is the reflection of the father. So there's an episode in I think it's in Clone Wars actually, or maybe Rebels. I can't recall fully right now, but where it's in Clone Wars. So Anakin goes to he sees the father, the son, the daughter, and the son is the basically the definition of the dark side. The daughter is the light side, and where he supposedly sees his future and what he's going to become Darth Vader, and they show him this. He ends up getting mind wiped, so he didn't know after he left it, but he was supposed to be tested there. The three Mortis guards are supposed to indicate the balance of the force, and he's being, for some reason, I'm not sure why his character is being called there or what he is on mission to, but it definitely has to do with the origin of the force wielders.
there so no, yeah, it's they were saying that he could be being called by the mother, who they said that
Because the
at the
three are
time
dead.
she was because she had brought chaos to the force because she had drank for some well, and then had something that was supposed to give her light and dark, but then it like corrupted her. And so they believe that that's the rumor. They believe that that's what's calling to him because there's like a war that happens every few like decades, and it's they're responsible for ability of the mother. That was something I was just reading up because I wanted to know about those statues, and I was like, oh, okay, so that makes sense that maybe that's the because they imprisoned the mother, and so
Mm.
that would make sense.
Yeah, they did.
That's what's calling that. That's who's calling out possibly to him.
That makes sense. So he's there to unleash chaos.
Uh,
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't see him as someone to release chaos, but it could
Well,
be.
he
I
said
don't
he's
know
in the
enough
pursuit of
about
power. He never
that
said
part.
he was
Yeah,
on the side of releasing Thrawn. He never said the search that led him there was intended for the search for power. Is what that's what he indicated.
yeah.
So I don't think the intention was to release Thrawn. He just wanted to be there.
It
So
just
there's definitely
Like
something behind it.
like a means to an end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Because he he was done with the Jedi. You know, he was past that, and I think Shin is more attracted more to the dark side and her ambition, and he's kind
Mhm.
of in the middle of it all.
in the middle
Ray
of it
Stevenson's
all.
demeanor was a character of its own. The way he holds and comports himself. Yes, absolutely. He like that. His entire presence, like Thrawn had a presence for sure, but I feel like Ray Stevenson's like uh just demeanor
I
and
definitely wanted more Balin.
yeah.
I wanted just more of it.
Mhm.
Tony, TJ, how do you feel about Balin?
I thought he was all right. My favorite Ray Stevenson character is still the Punisher. That movie still kicks ass. He's amazing in that.
He was an amazing Punisher.
I liked his stokedness. The conversation that he has with Sabine to get the artifact thing. I don't know what it's called.
Mhm.
But to get it, the way he kind of like talks to her and is very just calm about it. Lowers his lightsaber and yeah, I thought that whole scene was pretty cool, and it was just a great performance by Ray.
For sure.
Yeah.
Although
I sent the link to you guys for the Mortis gods.
I thought Sabine was
in the
going to
chat.
throw that device in the ocean. It's like, what do you
Then we
do?
would lose. Then the show would be over. That episode.
Yeah, it'll be over, and then she loses her chance to find Ezra.
Get for a friend that she didn't care to hug when she saw him.
So I have a theory that like the reason why she didn't do that was because she felt guilty about how like what she did to get there when she basically like abandoned
I could
Ahsoka. You know what I mean? Like
I could see
or
that.
betrayed her.
Right. No, I can totally see that initially, and that would have made sense. But the fact that Hera also didn't hug him, I just thought that was odd. Like, why did they? Unless no one is allowed to touch this guy, I just thought that was weird.
Well, I think I don't think they showed Hera hugging him towards the end because they were still skeptical that it was him until like he took off his mask, and then it kind of just like, oh shit, it is him. It felt like more of like a shock than anything else. Versus when Sabine did it, it seemed like guilt more than anything else.
I think there's a whole shock, and then there's a happiness that he's there, but he's there by himself. Ahsoka, and Sabine are not there. It's just him.
Yeah, there's also
and
that
he's coming out of a
realization that he
stormtrooper's
came.
outfit.
He came, but like he didn't come with the people who went to go get him.
Can we talk about also to Captain Enoch?
Captain Enoch,
the stormtrooper, his Thrawn secondhand.
Oh, the Mr. Goldface.
Yeah.
That
he
first
reminds
of all,
me of a G.I. Joe.
Can we talk about like with that the Death Troopers that we got? I completely forgot that. I think someone mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, Death Troopers. Sure, I guess we'll get that. Like I've heard of these things before, but it didn't actually resonate and dawn on me. And then it was like, oh
nope.
They literally just went to town, and these motherfuckers were like, all right, let's do this again. Excuse me? Nah.
It was like, nope, nah.
They were actually
y'all had
much
full
better as a
lightsabers run through you.
They were.
Because troopers are so bad, and they're not really worth much of anything. And the fact that when they became zombie, they became actually effective was odd to me.
I mean, it's definitely a mental strategy, because if you have someone that you just killed, a horde of them that you just killed, and they just pop up, shrug shit like it's nothing, pick up their weapons, let's go again. That'll mess with you mentally. I don't care how strong you are with
it's definitely a numbers game, an overwhelming thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they definitely did the job, and it was cool. Like, and it was also interesting of like they had like 40 volunteers. They were just like, yeah, these guys are gonna just sacrifice themselves and they're ready to go. And then she had other Death Troopers that were there for a while, because you even saw the decaying face under the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, the Death Troopers and Enoch. So with Enoch, I mean, we've seen a lot of specialized troopers, but all they've done is like it's the same armor. Yo, you go. But no, with Enoch, he was the first stormtrooper to really that we've seen in a live action that his armor's really, because there was something about like with the gold and everything, and the face was just different. It's like it's like, okay, this guy is possibly very legit. He's trusted by Thrawn. And then when you start seeing the rise of when they watch those stormtroopers, that fight scene with that lightsaber scene, I'm like, oh, this is Star Wars. But then when they rose up, and even when you saw them like Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, holy it's like, oh, shit's about to go down. It gave a new dread in terms of type of trooper outside of the dark troopers, who were like the at the time were the robotic troopers that were there, that we saw in the Mandalorian season 1. This was more scary because these are just now, okay, how do I kill? They're dead already. I killed them. They're coming after me again. What am I going to do?
Val, did these troopers always have gold like in their armor?
No.
Or was that like a newer thing?
This is something that came about as he was with the Night Sisters. This isn't something that he had access to prior to.
Got you. Because
at least not in Rebels.
It reminded me of something. You guys ever heard of like, it's called kintsugi? It's a Japanese, when like a bowl breaks, they'll like repair it with gold, and then like try to make it like it's better now than it was before. It kind of felt like that, where they were like, oh, we've destroyed you, you've died, or whatever the case is, but we brought you back and now you're better. And I was like, oh, that feels so wrong. Because I you know what I mean?
He feels more threatening than Captain Phasma ever was.
Yeah, but
sadly, yeah.
Really?
That's a
writing thing.
That's a writing thing, though.
I know. Phasma got played.
Hugo brought this up before. When Ezra came back, there's also the realization, if Ezra's back, then so is Thrawn, and what else? So yeah, it's a lot of the realization, oh, He's here. They're not here. If he's here, they're not here. Then Thrawn made it. And what did Thrawn bring?
Right.
Hold on. There needs to be more leg removal. I mean, sure.
I did think that
That
though.
Yeah.
I did think that.
I think
Why?
anyone
You know,
who's seen a zombie movie is initially was like just go
like
for the
sweep
legs.
the leg. Like I don't understand why there just wasn't enough of sweep the leg.
The gold thing is also seen in He Who Remains spot at the end of time. Oh, valid. Very
Yeah.
true. Very, very true.
That's for next week.
That is for next
No,
week.
it's not. Gen V is.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
We're gonna
Gen
wait.
V,
We're gonna sit on Loki for a little bit because
Gen
Gen V.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
man, we got a lot to talk about in these upcoming weeks.
Oh, I got a lot to talk about Tech Night, so we'll leave it for next week.
Of course, you want to talk about Tech Night. Of course. Listen,
I haven't
this
seen
is
any
not the
Gen
show.
V, so we're not talking about it
We're
yet.
What?
not talking
Gen
about it.
V is so good.
It's
So-
So what
good.
had happened was, I went on
Totally gotta see
Prime
Gen V.
You went on Prime.
and I saw Wheel of Time, and it was like,
Season 2.
oh, that's back, and so I started watching that over Gen V.
Mm.
Can I also say I loved Shin as the apprentice to Skull, and that entire like parallel between her and Sabine.
Yeah.
Because every time they fought, it was definitely like giving me a vibe of like I need to prove that I'm the better apprentice and that I'm in the right, essentially.
Yeah, you definitely saw a mirroring of the between the two of them, which I thought was really a really cool way of doing it. And they each had their moments of one upping each other.
Mhm.
And now seeing Shin leading whoever these dudes are, these samurai dudes, because they look like feudal samurais.
Sam people times 2.
Against
A little
Ahsoka.
more than that, but sure.
So we'll see. I am interested to see what they do with Shin as she goes down this path.
I hope they don't check off gun her and like just leave her for no reason.
I don't think so. I think she's gonna be. They're probably their characters. I'm sure they're gonna recast Rey. Their characters have a bigger purpose for their reason on this planet that will have to do with the Mortis gods.
Got it. Okay.
TJ.
At least I think.
Way in TJ. Where you want to see the series go? Where do you want to see the series?
I just want to see an Anakin show. That's really it. They're offering me an Anakin show. I'm in. Just 7 episodes. I don't care. Let's just go. Let's just hang out with Anakin for a bit. Let's just see.
I would like
What
to
version
see.
of Anakin?
I would like to see him after Darth Vader, after he becomes Darth Vader, but also where he struggles in his own internal struggle between light and dark, and where he may have hesitated. Like he hesitated when he confronted Obi-Wan. He hesitated when he confronted Ahsoka in the times that we've seen him. So I'd like to see his internal struggle more.
Just as long as he doesn't have the Padawan rat tail, we're good. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I think we're past that. I think we're past that.
Yeah, they're not giving us that anymore.
Yeah, no, his Obi-Wan flashback was like he looked really old, but he had the Padawan tail, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose to not de-age him for that. Like
they
that
de-age
no
everybody.
They did a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah.
I did like the way
I want to see him. I want to see him bring his nemesis. Sand. Oh, and then we have, I think it was interesting how Sabine's moment of using the Force was reminiscent of Luke in the ice cave. Yeah. I did not think about that until just now. Yes,
because
absolutely.
At that point of Luke's journey, he was still very early in learning, and he didn't have old Obi-Wan anymore. He had no teacher, and he's just trying to get by until Obi-Wan tells him, "Hey, go find Yoda on Dagobah." So it's very different with his path and what Sabine's path is. I was watching a little bit of Screen Crush Ryan Airy a little earlier, and I was pretty upset because he compared. He says that Ezra should have never existed in Rebels, and how they take away from the story of Luke being the last Jedi, and that it should have just been Kanan Jan's or whatever. And how he didn't like Ezra's story at all, and but he likes him in Ahsoka,
With,
and it's
without
just stupid.
without even watching Rebels yet, wouldn't them existing, like giving this whole like Ahsoka still alive, and we see her have a brief-ish interaction with Luke when they're with Grogu, um, seeing Sabine, seeing Ezra, seeing everybody, doesn't that give a little bit more weight to when Luke becomes that old bitter man in the like that I know everyone hates, but like there's a reason why he got that way. Like now he's actually the last of
Sucking
the
on blue,
Jedi kind of thing. You know what I mean? So like I don't know.
sucking on blue
I
milk.
don't think that should have been what we seen out of that. Especially, okay, so when you read the books and where he starts to bring back the Jedi Order, I mean, it really starts with the twins, Luke and Leia's twins, and then they had a third son as well, and they don't bring that into the Star Wars world. They obviously it's not canon anymore, but how he brings it all up, he really goes on search. There's other people who are force sensitive. His wife Mara Jade is also force
Mhm.
sensitive. Like for people to just say there shouldn't have been no one else other than Luke, that's stupid. I mean, how does the
It keeps
there's always
reinforcing the fact of like the Star Wars like story revolves around the Skywalkers, and it doesn't. And it
it
doesn't
doesn't.
make sense.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Well, that's what I liked about the video games, like Knights of the Old Republic. It posited a world in which like anybody could open themselves up to the Force. Like you
Hmm.
didn't have to be born with it.
We see that
I
with
mean, that's.
Sabine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you even see that in the new trilogy when they established that too in the new trilogy. I know we don't talk about it too much, but it's like you saw the little kid. He was like, with the broom and everything. I believe it was the broom. Again, it's just reinforcing that whole thing that anybody can kind of tap into the Force. The whole thing that Luke was supposed to be the last. I think that that's just what fanboys want. But for years,
Mm.
even before Disney got the license, and like you pointed it out, Val, like before it was even canon. I mean, Dark Horse did a set of comics, Marvel did a set of comics, and it explored deeper into Star Wars universe where Luke was not the last Jedi. This was always stuff that was explored. It's just now that it's in Disney and it's being made into live action, it you're giving those who fantasize or like what do you call it, they had this whole idea in their head of where they want the story to go, but because it's not playing they want to hate on everything, which
Mhm.
sucks because it's like if you go back into the 90s and even like the 80s, we weren't getting stuff like that. Even in the early twos we were barely getting any comic book Star Wars stuff, and now we have nothing but comic book movies, shows, all this stuff we talked about. I remember, and people need to
Totally
remember this.
agree, Mike.
In the 90s, Wizard magazine used to do fan casting for X-Men, for future Star Wars movies. Oh, who this character play in? And we all used to harp in on that. Oh, that's dope. Patrick Stewart for the longest was Wizard magazine's pick to play Professor X every time, hands down. And now that we have the live action, you got too many people complaining. It's like, dude, just enjoy it. Like, I would admit some stuff is trash, but the fact is this: I'm not gonna say like, we pick on everybody about Morbius, but it's like that movie would have been made years ago, and the fact that it's made now, I mean, it's enjoyable, it's great, but I can say that I'm happy I could make fun of it, but still sit down to enjoy it as a
Wait,
nerd.
wait, I have to say, he just said it's enjoyable. It's great. Did you
He's using
hear
a
that?
lot.
Enjoyable.
He's
Did
using
you
a
It's
hear
lot of
that?
enjoyable
adjectives
hot
that I don't
Where's Pong?
agree
trash.
with.
Where's Pong? Did you hear that? Let's
It's a
that's
it's a
recorded.
it's enjoyable hot trash because we wouldn't have got this hot trash years ago.
No,
Because
see,
if
you
you
didn't
saw,
say
no, no,
that
no,
before.
no, because if you saw what Marvel and DC were making back then, ooh, did you ever see that old Captain America movie?
The
Yes,
Marvel,
God,
but
yeah, but
hold
the
on, but we
old
still
Marvel stuff
watched
was
it and
no, no,
took it
no,
for what
no,
it
no,
was
no, no.
because
That old Marvel stuff.
He's talking about the 70s,
He's talking about the
80s.
old Marvel stuff that was in a dumpster that no one found except
80s,
Seabass.
And he
90s,
keeps bringing up for some reason.
the
DC had a,
fantastic, the
DC had a
Fantastic
much
Four movie
better
that was never
run of
released.
early superhero live action shit.
No, 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 no. DC had Batman 1 and 2, and then after that, they shit the bed. Then they also had the first Superman, second Superman. Then all of a sudden, it just started going downhill, especially when they had Nuclear Man.
Okay.
He was saying Morbius was
Pong,
enjoyable.
he's saying Morbius was
I don't
great
know. I don't even
and
know
I
what
didn't say it was
enjoyable.
great.
I'm
No, you
going
did.
to
No,
I
you
said
I'm
did.
it's
going to
great
bring
as a
us back
nerd.
I don't
to
know
the
where
Ahsoka
Thank you.
train
Seabass was
See
going.
this,
and,
TJ? They're
and
picking on me
answer
too much.
Hugo's question, or actually give this to Val. Do you know the answer to
So,
this?
is it inappropriate for me to ask where Ezra got the crystal for his new saber? Or are none of the parts there hard to find? Well, you have Huang. Huang is the lightsaber maker. He taught every single Jedi how to make their lightsaber. So he had access to all the parts to make them. As far as a
That's why
crystal,
he had the
that's an
same piece
interesting.
for Kanan. There you go.
Yeah. That I wouldn't know where he got his crystal from unless he took a piece from the other saber to split it in two. Maybe, I don't know,
I mean, you
but
didn't
they
think
don't
Hu
show
Yang
that.
wouldn't have some
He
kyber
could,
crystals around?
but there's a
Yeah.
see in Clone Wars. Yes, in Clone Wars when Ahsoka goes to get her crystal, and also one of the there's a group of younglings, the young Chewbacca looking one that was
Hmm.
in Bad Batch. He
Yeah.
was also there as well. That group of
His
younglings went
lightsaber is
on a
dope, by the way.
oh yeah, we see him find his crystal. Like there's a temple that they have to go through. There's a trial for their to find and locate their crystal that's sings to them basically, and they are drawn to because it's a more spiritual connection than you realize, and then you create your own saber, and Huang guides each youngling through that process. So obviously with this new world of Jedi, no one's being formally trained. The order is completely done. So I'm not sure where the kyber crystals come from, but it could be anywhere because they are now forested for power.
Yeah, I was gonna ask: are the kyber crystals something that you can find on just a singular planet, or is it something that are
It's
like
not
a
in a singular planet. Yeah,
natural resource of like a bunch of planets?
I believe it's in several planets, but not many. And one of the places we see them is in Rogue One, where they're for remember when they're such they pull out because they've been resourcing kyber crystals out of there,
Oh wow, I haven't seen that movie in so long, but
and
yes.
then and they end up blowing up the planet after because they don't want anyone knowing that they leached it out of their resources.
Also,
Mm.
So yeah, you can find them in several places, but they're unless Huang had kyber crystals on the ship, that could be possible.
also want to add this to Cypress.
Seabass, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear
Not
you.
really. It
Not
sounds like
well.
you're underwater, man. It's like you're in a Bacta tank. You're having your well, never mind, he left.
That's exactly what he
Sound like
sounded
with
like.
Boba Fett having his flashbacks.
Yeah, hear me now.
What?
No.
What
No,
happened to your headset, my guy? What's going on?
did your
Okay,
headset
anyway.
like die or something? Like,
TJ, anything else you want to add?
Someone mentioned, I don't know, I think it was a comment about doing a show about the dark side and the allure of it. I would love to see a Darth Maul show.
Oof.
I would love to see what he was up to that got the Emperor's attention. That then
Prior to.
prior
Right.
to Phantom Menace, like what
I
was he up to?
believe he was chosen by the Night Sisters and used because of their connection to the dark side.
Yeah,
So
I think that would be. I think that would
that
be.
would be really nice.
yeah,
I'd really like to see Revan. I would love to
Oh
see
yeah.
Revan's. I mean, that's very Old Republic, but I would love to see his rise, and then his dark side, and then him coming back. Like I would love. They should do a series on Revan. That would be freaking
They
awesome.
ain't ready for Revan, man.
They're not ready for Revan.
Also, Revan, you need like committed seasons for Revan.
Yeah,
yeah.
You need
yeah,
committed seasons for Revan. You can't just
You would
do
need
like
to greenlight the entire like run from the
yeah,
you
jump.
know, or like you got to do like certain aspects of Revan, either and you can't do just light side Revan because then you miss the whole point.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, so you got to
yeah,
do dark side Revan. You got to do him with Malik. You know, like you got to do all that stuff, and then you somehow have to do the redemption that is in the culture games, and then you do the book or whatever.
yeah. That would
Do you
be
think?
freaking awesome.
Do you think some of the like the characters that are in the video games, like Cal, are like? Do you think that they would appear in this universe at some point?
I would love to see Cal at some point.
Potentially.
I
Oh
mean,
my
and
god, that
and
would be
and you can literally just have the
the
actual
actor because he
actor.
looks
yeah.
just like
He
him.
does
Yep.
look just like him.
He really. Oh, have you guys played the newer one? It's like they made him even more like him. It's so freaking dope.
I've heard good things, but
The
I haven't
motion
played it.
capture is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I
got
played the first
all
one.
his freckles.
Yeah,
Do you hear me
No.
he's still
No.
underwater.
Yeah, it sounds
Uh,
horrendous.
Val, the planet that they brought Thrawn to at the end, what planet was that?
Dothamir. So it's
That's where all the
where
Night Sisters are from.
yes, yes, as well as Darth Maul's
Ah,
people, which I have to look up their name, their what his species is.
because I thought that's
The
where it
Brack.
was. I thought that's where it was, and it was funny because someone I think I shared this meme myself,
Zabrak,
but like
thank you.
there was a meme somewhere where it said like Star Wars has an
We might
entire
find
planet
Cal
of
there
like
though.
of
Now that I'm
goth
thinking about it.
Amazonian women who are like witches, and they refuse to go there. Bring them there, and then now we're like, oh shit, they're there now.
Yeah, no, but these okay, so in Jedi the Cal's games, Jedi Survivor, as well
Fallen
as
Order.
the pre thank you, yes. Fallen Order. In that series, this is taking place similar time frames, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And he goes to Dothamir, he meets
Yeah.
a Night Sister, she joins his little crew, and then in Survivor, she's also now traveling with a former Jedi. Because um Luke and Leia aren't the only survivors of the Jedi Order, and there's more out there than we know. So,
Right.
with that said, I mean, there's ways you can tie Cal into the Ahsoka series, and also see how he tied into Luke's process of this version of him bringing back
Fallen
the
Order
Order.
takes place after the whole like the original trilogy.
This is while the Empire is in
Yeah,
power. Yes,
it's yeah.
Fallen Order takes place where they're on the run, they're being hidden, and the Empire is ruling, and they
Okay.
have like what are the not
The
fudge. What is
Inquisitors.
yes, the Inquisitors chasing them. Thank you. That was the word
Okay.
I was
So it's
looking for.
like it's
It's
still
after it's after or it's after 3.
it's after 3,
It's
but
after 3
before
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 Yevon.
6, before the Battle of
6.
Yavin. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but at this point now, this is after 6. Cal is not dead. At least I didn't finish Survivor, so he shouldn't be. Um, Cal isn't dead. He's very young, so he can still be alive at this point in time, and he has ties to Dathomir because of that Night Sister that he befriended.
Mm.
So and at that point, Dathomir was when he came across it, it was very much deserted, and all you had was the Brox. The Night Sisters were almost extinct,
Oh wow.
right? So TJ, I mean, you probably played the game more than I did, but you would
I, I
know.
didn't. I didn't play Survivor. I played
Okay,
Fallen Order.
yeah, but there was a Brox in that one, and then but not a lot of Night Sisters. Right? She was like the last one of her
Yeah,
group or whatever.
but it was cool to see a bunch of the Darth Maul,
Yeah,
people. I don't know what his race is.
Zabrak,
Okay.
Zabra, Darthmirian Zabrak, male.
Yeah. But when you go to that planet in the first game and you see all of them, and
Hmm.
it's a pretty hellacious looking planet. So
Yeah.
it would be pretty cool for live action.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
excited to see what it looks what they do with it. So hopefully it looks a lot like the video game.
Because we're for sure doing a season 2 of Ahsoka, right? Like
Oh
this
Yeah.
yeah,
doesn't
No,
close
they
the
definitely are.
door on
they
because
better.
in my head I was like, this is such a weird way to end this series if this is only gonna be one season.
No.
Like I went in. I guess I went in there with the same like, oh, this is gonna be like Obi-Wan's story. Like they're just closing out a chapter for like to give more context. So then for me, the ending felt so like weird because I was just like, this feels like unresolved, and I just didn't like it. So like it started to like just be like, oh, I don't. Yes, that is also my question. Is but when would season 2 come out, and when would it take place?
I'm hoping they pick up exactly where they left off, or at least immediately within a few months when they start seeing Thrawn, because Thrawn's gonna have to piece together his plan now that he's back,
Mhm.
right? And where the goal, I'm sure, will end up us seeing how Empire
Because
comes
we're
back.
probably gonna
What
see
is
a
it?
lot of those guys that
What
Moff
is the new
Gideon
one?
was in that secret meeting with.
Oh, the other moths. Well, the
Yeah.
other moths don't like Thrawn. So I don't know how they play it
Really?
out. So here's the thing, because he's not
I thought.
human.
Oh, because I
Yeah,
thought.
that's
Oh,
part of his
okay.
big shtick is that he's the only non-human
Because
Yeah.
to
I
have that
thought
power.
like when they were having that discussion, they were like, "Oh, are like you're planning for the great admiral to return,
hmm
but like we don't even know if that's going to be the case or not."
So the problem, they're jealous of what he can do, what he's capable of. I mean, at least in the books. I mean, obviously the storylines could change when they bring it to live action, but um in the Return of Thrawn, one of the moths, they all have like this council or whatever, and they all have their own little section and fleet that they're controlling while they're fighting the Republic that's now returned. And no one has come close to taking down the Republic as Thrawn has. And since he was removed, he was killed in the books, but he was removed from power when they threatened the return of Thrawn. It was actually an actor pretending to be Thrawn, and people were threatened by this person thinking Thrawn was back, and they kept trying to separate themselves from him because the power he has, because he's intended to be the heir of the empire. Like that's the thought process. They fear him and they dislike him because they have to respect him even though they don't want to.
You guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hardline connection.
Okay.
I mean, okay, that works.
How did you feel about Hera
What?
and Jason?
Oh, so I didn't like the Jason actor, but I mean, he was a small part of it. Um
Freaking
Hera,
kid.
I would have liked, so here's what annoyed me about that scene where he's trying to get her attention. He is his father's son, who is a Jedi. Like he was actually trained in the Jedi Order. He escaped during the fall of whatever. This Kanan was a good Jedi also. He hid for many years. Like, why would you not want to cultivate the power that your son has, especially now that the Republic is back? And then you completely ignore up to a certain point. And it was just very odd for me how she wasn't
But
listening
who
or
would train
acknowledging it.
him?
I don't think he had a trainer.
Ahsoka!
I don't think Ahsoka's. I don't think so. From what it felt like,
At
I
this
felt like
point,
it from because you said that Sabine being her apprentice only like this is a story that happened like now in the live action, and it felt like that was like they reluctantly became a master and apprentice kind
mhm.
of deal, and then had such a weird falling out that I don't know that Ahsoka would be in that space to take on another apprentice with how her and Sabine were in the beginning.
My thing, but also at this point in time, remember she was looking for Thrawn. She found that Dathomir in Mandalorian. You
Right.
have also, so she has access to Grogu. She has access to Luke. Why wouldn't you set up Jason to be in the best position? Because Luke is here at this time. He's training Grogu right
Well,
now. Like, I just don't understand why Jason isn't getting
that
any
might also
training.
just be a deal
It's a
where
mama thing. She's like, Mama, like,
yeah,
no.
well, I was gonna say once you become a Jedi, like you're giving up that like
N-
life and
Not with
family,
this
no?
new world. This is the thing. This is not a formal way that the training happened the way it used to after the fall of the Jedi.
Ahsoka, I don't think it's finished with her training. I think
She left the
after
order.
she left the order, so she didn't finish. But because of her vision on the bridge with Anakin, I think that was what he
Was
said,
one of
like
her
finish
final
her
lessons.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
So
left the order before
technically,
she became a master.
right. So technically she's Sabine's master, but it's kind of like an empty like again
But
like Anakin, like a master like apprentice, like she got the title but didn't earn it kind of thing.
mm,
But I think now like she's definitely for sure earned that title.
I think, but in this new world of Jedi Order, after the fall of everything, that all of them are like that. There
Yeah,
is
they're
no
all
formality. They're all not completely there, and and unless you cultivate what is there, how do you regrow something if you're not helping the
also
children who are force sensitive?
also if you really look at it, because I think even Ahsoka was so in it,
No, Luke
is
had to
that
figure that shit out
He
on his own.
he did finish his training, just not in the movies that we've seen.
yeah, but I was gonna say like I think that the way how the Jedi Order fell, a lot of them like Ahsoka and all those who survived, they're not
At least she
they're
had a
looking to do
necklace
things
or
different.
something, or a necklace
There
thing
was
or
a
a chain.
jewel that came around her that hung down. It was something. Yeah.
No, but I
Right.
think that they're all jaded with the whole fact is like, they were at the top of the order. The Jedi thought that, they were the head of the game, and then the way that they fell, it's like, how do you go back to teaching the same way? How do you go back to, rebuilding the order like that? So it's like, you could understand that sense of like jadedness and just doing like, you know what? No,
It's
it's
why
kind of
Luke
like a lot of
failed.
that, yeah. And that's why it's
Well,
like you
in
kind
the
of see them
books,
all
Luke
go their own path.
fails at rebuilding the Jedi Order because he tried to rebuild it back to where it was. And very similar to Kylo Ren's story, where he burned everything down, except it was two twins that were Han and Leia's kids. And one turned bad, and there's more behind it, and they kind of messed it up in the movies. But
I
yeah,
have a theory about the movies because I feel like that second movie really threw them in a whirlwind because they
Oh
let
man.
one of I remember being in the theater with Tone with that one
Uh,
because
Boken.
the first one gave into nostalgia. That second movie, it's like whoever,
we know it's
yeah,
horrible. We've
and
gone down that road.
the third movie was just trying to clean up the mess that the second movie left.
Yeah, we've gone down that road many times.
I think
But
someone realized that having all the Jedi in one place was maybe a problem. Some basket eggs. Yeah, I also want to. I also would think that, uh, like look at the timeline, at least from the movie perspective. We even see it when Anakin is talking to Ahsoka. He says, "I'm not training you like I was trained, like Obi-Wan trained me. I'm training you to be a soldier."
Hmm.
So like there's already this separation of like
Well,
how
it was
someone's trained, what they're being trained for, because essentially
at that time it was very different.
Jedis were trained to be peacekeepers, and
Right.
then suddenly became like General Kenobi and like all the soldier stuff, and then it's like, but that was never
That's
their like intention, like that was not what they were supposed to be,
yeah.
you know. um
You're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
and they
Right.
were starting to become such,
um
but it's
However, I mean, if you played all any of the old
yes,
Republic
thank you,
games,
Pong.
I can't remember the exact what what it was Ray Stevens' character called Ahsoka, a broken Jedi.
A broken Jedi. That's what she meant. She hadn't finished her training. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Good,
I
good.
do like a little thing that they do with the lightsaber battles. I like
oh
the
yes, let's talk about that. Go
I
ahead,
like
Tony.
the slow, deliberate nature, almost like a samurai movie. I do like the fast, frenetic stuff that they have in the prequels. But it was cool to kind of see something very kind of toned down, or just more deliberate. Again, it just felt like a samurai movie, just very, very. It's all about just building up to this one strike.
I
Yeah, I think
noticed
it was
that it was
intentional this time.
so night
Yeah,
and day to see like
just the poses, just the pose.
It's
So
yeah.
also, I think,
each,
Ahsoka's style.
yeah,
Like, well, could be her, the actress. I mean, what's
but
her
it
name?
wasn't. It
Rosario
was
Rosario
Dawson.
Dawson.
Thank
but it
you. It
wasn't
was
just her.
not coming.
I was
Her.
gonna
I
let you
think was
try.
just. I think was done deliberate because if you look at every single person, and even in the last fight that she had with what's her face, the
The Dathomir Witch.
the Dathomir witch,
Oh,
everything was in like a samurai pose, the stances and
fucking
everything, and it felt like
Morgan Elsbeth.
we were
Yes.
watching
That fight was
space. Yeah, we
great.
were watching space samurai battles, and just every single stance, and then the slowness of it, and then it sped up. It's like again,
Even
the
Ahsoka's
choreography was great.
outfit, from her gray to white change.
Hmm.
Her whole mannerism and style also changed. Like, I think Rosario Dawson did a great job in showing this character grow in a short period of time.
Yeah, but I think that's also again from what I've seen, like that shows progression with like good writing for progression of a character. But they
Filoni.
did that. Filoni did that with Obi-Wan when he met Maul again. Like
Hmm.
that fight, I heard I think it's Sam
Like old
Witwer
when like
talk.
old man
Yeah,
old man
when he
Obi.
does the original pose that he did when he
Yep.
first fought Maul. Then he was like, "Oh, I'm not that guy." Baited Maul, and then he like switched to his other stance, and then like he switched again. He was like, I'm not him, or
They
I'm not him. Like
they
I'm
cursed.
not the one who you met when I was still a Padawan. I'm not the one who went through the Clone Wars because that's not me anymore either. Yeah, he tricked Maul, and then he was like, I'm Ben Kenobi now. Like I'm
Her
a totally different guy.
So Ahsoka's style is called the Form V. What was a physical demanding style, calling on the user to quickly transition from a dedicated defensive stance to an all-out attack, which hence
Mhm.
is her choose lightsabers. Um, and again, the
According to
Zaitachi.
according to like something I was watching or reading, they were saying that she started off with one blade, but because she was so good, she just gave her. She was like, "I'm just gonna pick up a second blade just because."
And the other
No,
thing
Anakin
Give her a
gave
too,
it to
challenge.
and they
Anakin gave
said,
that to her. He was preparing her. I think at some underlying level, preparing her to defend herself against him.
and also too, they said in episode 3 in Ahsoka, Zata introduces Zatashi, the name of the training technique encouraging Padawans to rely on their senses beyond the sight of the Force, which is very interesting because in Rogue One, we had a character who relied on his senses rather than his sight. He was a blind fighting character. That
That
was in Rogue One, and
was
he wasn't a Jedi.
Yeah, I know who you're
He
talking.
was
I know.
force
I know what you're
sensitive.
thinking.
Hmm
I know who you're
And
thinking. I
man.
can't remember his name either.
He
so
Google
was
it.
my
it's
he was my
He
favorite
he
part
was
of.
in John Wick 4.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Steve.
He was
No,
in John Wick. He was IP man.
Donnie Yang.
Denny
Chirrut.
Son-
Chirrut Imwe?
Donnie
That was,
Yang.
yeah, but
Donnie.
his character's name was Chirrut.
Yeah.
Donnie Yang.
I don't know
Yeah, but
why I was saying. Oh, I almost said Steven. Donnie Yen. Yes.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is one with me.
Yes.
Yes. He was one of my favorite
Love
parts
his
about that
character.
entire movie because
Rogue One
otherwise
is
I
literally
wasn't
one of
great.
my,
I was
yeah, no, it is my favorite Star Wars movie. It's the best. That,
I
and I
think
actually would love to see. I know they're probably not going to revisit it, but in Han Solo's movie Solo, we see Maul's character at the end, right,
yep.
where he's in charge of the, I think, the syndicate or whatever.
mhm,
Not
Yeah.
the syndicate.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it the syndicate?
Yeah. He's in
Yeah.
charge of the
Yeah.
syndicate.
And
It's the
I
part
would
of
love to
it's
see
in
that
Rebels, right?
tie in. Yeah, there's parts of it in Rebels, not a whole lot. And there's also at some point we see Maul end his chapter with Obi-Wan and they fight.
They did Han Solo the movie so bad because they were first of all the advertisement for it wasn't there.
Solo wasn't bad.
No, it was. I'm saying how the studio did it bad. They were saying first of all
Oh,
the advertisement wasn't there for the movie, and second, I really think that Solo would have done better as a show. I really
Solo's
did
good.
because no, so
So I had fun with
I-
Solo, but there were so many people who didn't like it,
yeah, there
and
was
I
so
get why, but I also feel like
I think
Maybe
it
you
would have done
wanted the Skywalker story still. I was
no,
over
but
it.
I think it would have done better as a show because you could have explored more into Han's story than a movie, kind of like what they did with Obi-Wan. I feel Obi-Wan should have been the movie and Solo should have been the show. Obi-Wan was okay, but I
I
feel like
also
Han
think
Solo should have been the show.
Obi-Wan was a perfect show. No questions asked. That was perfect. It was great.
Even over the
I
Book of Boba,
think
this should have been the show. Solo.
I think they were about the main actor who played Solo, uh which everyone gives a Star Wars actor like shit for the first time they play a character and becomes a whole big deal,
Just give
and then
me
we look at him 20 years later and go, oh man, you did so well, why did we hate you? Every fucking time.
Just give me more Donald Glover as Lando.
But yes, I was
He's
gonna
getting it.
say
I hear
Donald
they're
Glover. I
doing
think
A Lando show.
I can honestly see that because I feel like Solo was one of those things where like Lando was like stole the screen. It's just because of the quality of actor that like Donald Glover is. It's not that this guy couldn't play a good solo. Donald Glover's just that dude. And it just showed.
There's so many missions and things that Lando's character helped Leia and Han with throughout the entire process, I guess, that they can dive into and really make it a well done character and show and follow his process. I mean, Lando has been able to get dropped down, screwed over, and come back up on top time and time again in his character itself. Like he's always found a way to get money. He's always found a way to build his own little business, his own little empire. And every time you see Lando in different iterations of the stories that I've read, he's got his hands in something and he's I know a guy kind of guy, right? And I think he would be a really good character to build more on in the universe itself.
CJ, weigh in. Have you weigh in on Lando? Have you seen Rogue One? I mean, I know you have to have seen it.
I've seen Rogue. Yeah, I've seen Rogue One. I enjoyed Rogue.
I mean, not Rogue One. I'm sorry. Solo, because we're talking about Lando.
Oh, no, I never saw Solo. But from the trailers, it looked like Donald Glover did a pretty good Lando.
Mm-hmm.
So rolling through these comments. Hot take. This one's for Tone. Dracula would have a harder time fighting experienced Force Masters than Guts.
Mike, we're not talking Dracula and Castlevania right
I'm
now.
not doing this, man. I told you how I feel.
All
of y'all uneducated Guts people don't read and y'all eat crayons.
Wow!
Oh,
God damn!
Came from the jugular.
That's what I
said.
For
real.
So when are we gonna get the Admiral Akbar show?
Admiral Akbar. If we ever, that'd be interesting. I would love
did
to
Admiral
see...
Akbar dirty too and killed
What's funny
him
is one of my students back in the day gave me a pop Funko of Admiral Akbar for like Christmas or something like that, and then he drew like I have to find the picture. He drew a picture. It's a trap. And I was just like, but it's because. Like we would troll each other back and forth with that line, and I think he just was like, "Mom, I want to get this for Lawrence for Christmas," and I was crying, laughing. It was like the best worst gift ever, and I love him so much for it.
It'd be a weird live action show if they did an Akbar show.
We do see it.
You see him in such small bursts in the trilogy.
Yeah.
I fear for one thing of having to do that show only because if you've ever seen the Star Wars Christmas special and been one of those unfortunate people who had to watch it, you had the first few minutes of Chewbacca's family, and I believe it was either his grandfather watching Wookiee porn in the beginning of it.
We're gonna breeze past that.
The Star Wars.
Anyone
Christmas
else really want to see
trilogy.
her without her leather pilot helmet?
So
not
real quick,
just
we
about her
do
goggles.
see it, but not as an adult. We see her in Bad Batch without her leather pilot and younger.
Oh, because she was the kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
God, so good. And that's what I was cracking up at, the silly dad joke.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hate me right now.
Mike, where you going?
What?
He's leaving.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's out there. Oh no.
It's Mike's bedtime. It's past his curfew.
What did I don't know what I did.
He's got to go eat some crayons.
What?
I want adult era to see that is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. What did I pull the shoot for? I don't understand.
The whole comment section right now. All of you.
What?
Behave.
No,
See if we're
not
gonna
gonna behave right now. I'm about to.
Don't pay no mind.
I'm not pulling up that comment.
I'm about to
Delete.
make comments hate me right now. Y'all could thank me later.
What up, bro? What's going on, Cuzzo?
Love it.
Dave,
Oh my
gotta come back to
God.
your dad jokes. So this is for everybody to watch later. I put it in the comments. The Star Wars Christmas special. You're very welcome.
Why would you do that?
Cause he likes if he suffers,
Why
Love
do
he
you
wants
chaos.
us
like
all to
such
suffer.
lame stuff?
He
I'm a
will
love
Star
watch like
Wars
a
Listen,
really
listen,
bad
fanatic,
listen, listen,
anime
and
and be
I
listen.
like,
Aren't
"Yo,
get
you
everyone
to
has to
watch
watch
that.
this."
aren't you a fan of Star Wars?
Look
I
at
love Star Wars, and I
Tony.
still have
So
not
you're gonna
bothered
watch
to
what George
watch
Lucas
that.
Tony,
have
you
you
see what
not
we deal
watched
with every
No,
week for the
have
last
you
like
not watched
4 or
the
5
Ewok
years.
show that they had come up
It's
with?
been
no,
more than
no.
that at
I
this
don't
point.
watch
It's been like
bad stuff.
7.
Okay.
This was
Jesus,
1978. This is what we got back then.
I'm ignoring you now.
Oh,
Hi, TJ.
man.
How are you?
Here we go again.
I think this is why Seabass has guests, so he could just watch us bicker and then be like, "This is crazy, right?"
I
Yeah,
told you it's crazy. They treat me like crap over here.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the bad guy.
That's exactly what he does all the time.
Oh man,
Listen, I subjugate all my friends to the good stuff.
what?
No, you don't. You subjugate them to bad stuff.
Subjugate to the good stuff? You're a liar.
Subjugate
You
them
are a
to
liar,
bad stuff.
sir.
Please
Call
don't use
this-
the word subjugate, please.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
wow.
we
Yo,
could like
listen,
finish. Let's try to
listen,
wrap up because he's
you're
getting off
gonna thank
topic.
me.
Okay, all right.
So
we're gonna do
you guys are
final
gonna
thoughts
thank
on
me on that one
Ahsoka.
day of Wheel of Fortune when you're gonna be like, they're gonna ask you
No,
that thing like, damn,
Nope.
Seabass gave me this
No.
knowledge.
Nope,
No.
not at all.
no.
All your knowledge is cursed, and I wish I never knew a lot of the stuff that's coming out of your mouth. We're gonna go around the horn. We're gonna final thoughts on Ahsoka, where we want to see the show, what we loved, and all that good fun stuff. We'll start with TJ, and then we'll go to Tone and work our way around the horn.
Yeah, this was a show where I really was into a lot of the details, lightsaber colors, the way they fought. Getting to see Ashoka and Anakin pair up again as a little mini reunion.
Mhm.
It just more Anakin. Just bring more Hayden Christensen in the future. That's what I want.
I'm here for it.
That would be nice.
Tone.
Excited for. I was really happy with the show. Love the deliberate lightsaber samurai style Ronin action that we got. Kind of bummed on how we left it really open with kind of where all of our characters are, but hopefully we get a season 2 that kind of ties everything up as we move forward to the Filoni Avengers.
Yeah, I had a really fun time with the show. Like, it was so well fleshed out for someone who's never watched Rebels, didn't really watch Clone Wars. Like, it made me want to watch those shows that much more, which I will. I just had literally been traveling so long, I don't have the time for a lot. But I will. I promise. But yeah, I can't wait for like what's to come. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of, at least I know like it's not going to be Ray, but like I want to see what they do with his character for sure, because I think it was so well written. And granted, that's gonna be very big shoes to fill, but I think it'll be worth it to at least flesh out the rest of his story for sure, and send that character on a high note. Val.
Well, y'all all know that I'm a total fangirl for Star Wars, anything Star Wars, except for the trash that Seabass says. But I loved this series. I felt giddy and goosebumps seeing how it tied into Rebels. Even if to those who haven't watched Rebels, I think it's well worth the watch, but you don't need it because they do well enough on this series that you can still follow it without feeling like you're lost entirely. I think there are some things we need to be filled in on. Um, I'd like to know more about what happened after Thrawn and Ezra was banished into this other dimension. Give us more backstory there. I'm looking forward to the next iterations of anything Star Wars in this Marvel world, Disney world, excuse me.
Seabass.
So, my final thoughts. Well, I say this: I love what Ahsoka's doing for the Star Wars franchise. It's breaking a lot of stuff, a lot of
Did
norms.
you reel yourself back in? Like you were gonna say some fucking off the wall?
I was gonna say
shit?
some wild off the wall shit, but I was like, you know what? We're not gonna do it. I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna behave because I already put
I
the
knew
Christmas
that's what I
special in the
saw.
chat right there. But no, the show did a lot for the Star Wars franchise right now that I think it definitely needed because it's opening up new avenues where the fact that we're establishing that there's a distant galaxy as well. And it's opening up for more lore for future storytellers where now, unlike where between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, any story told had to pretty much work in parameters to not mess up what was going on between those two stories. Whereas this, I feel like it's opening up more for creators to come into the Star Wars universe to do more and not have those same restraints like they have with the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. So with that, I feel like the story is opening more for characters, and I feel that the story has done where you don't need to see Rebels, but it makes you want to go back and see what these characters went through, how they came together. But you can jump on without having to watch Rebels to really appreciate the story. They have really great, beautiful fight scenes that are reminiscent to watching old school samurai flicks, mixing it with the sci-fi and everything. Because with the stances and all that, it was just these fight scenes were just very beautiful and probably some of the best we've seen in Star Wars for a while. Um, you got the sense of dread of these characters are scary, but it's like they're more than just they're not really they're just following what they believe. Like Thrawn follows what he believes in. He didn't essentially come off as an evil character, but it's like he's someone that's going to do what he believes in because he believes in the Empire. Is he an evil person? I can't say, but following what he believes in, and he's cold and calculating. So we get in these little bit of episodes that we see him why he is cold and calculating for anybody who doesn't know the character. Hayden Christensen definitely he's definitely getting a lot of the burn and the love from the fans. But what I want to see in season two, I hope we get to explore more of this distant galaxy. I hope we get a few little spin-offs off of this, like when it comes down to it, let's explore Ezra's story with the fact that he's in the main galaxy where and then Ahsoka and Balin and Shin, they're all in this distant galaxy to start dealing with the whole Mortis gods and everything and open up a whole big thing there. So I really feel that this opens a big old bag for people just to dive in and just starting telling more original stories without feeling like they're handcuffed to have to follow that. Oh, we have this three movies that came out. We have to make sure we land in that. So that's what I feel with the series.
Okay. What? Hayden Chris, what? I'm getting a lot of the burn. I see what you did there on purpose or not. Okay. Uh, so is there an upcoming Thrawn villain movie? Nothing announced yet. What we expect to have is Andor season 2 and the Acolyte TV series that should be coming out
Ooh.
next year. Not next month. I know we're gonna get there's in talks of a Lando movie, a Mando movie, and a Rogue Squadron movie. We
It
might
would
get a
be
Boba Fett
interesting.
season 2 also.
It would be interesting if Thrawn pops up in one of these series as the main villain because he was mentioned in Mando season 3 or season 2.
Right. You will see him in Mando definitely, but you won't see him in Acolyte. He didn't exist then. Um and you're not and in Andor also you probably won't see him either because that was during the Empire's reign, not after.
So what's next in the Star Wars TV show?
Because the Acolyte.
Right now,
Acolyte.
it's either Acolyte or Andor season 2. Right now, the schedule shows Andor for next year, August. Acolyte is sometime some next year. There's no date yet.
Stuff may shift because of the writer strike too, so we don't know. But
Yeah, a
yeah,
bunch of stuff got canceled also, so we'll see how
so
that goes.
it's gonna be an interesting year after the writer strike. But you know what? Gotta get that money, guys.
What do we
So
got
what are we
next week?
talking next week?
Gen
Tone.
B,
The first half.
the first half, yes.
Oh my God, TJ,
So
you've been
good.
watching Gen V?
I have not. I don't watch a lot of Prime stuff.
Oh, you gotta watch
I,
it.
I think I think I've only seen the first season of The Boys. So
Oof.
I'm gonna summarize it for
I
you
will
right now.
highly recommend.
Yeah, Gen V is a fucked up version of the X-Men.
okay, all right. Well, I mean, The Boys was a fucked up version of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's accurate. That's actually
Yeah.
accurate. Yeah.
I mean, the X-Men notes aren't as prevalent in the Gen V show because they're really doing a lot with college and shit a lot of students deal with, and they're just like blowing it up as The Boys, which is what The Boys TV show does. It kind of takes comics and business and blows it up to that. Where in the actual comic run, yeah, the G-Men, as they are called, are a parody, a very dark parody of the X-Men. So it's interesting. They decided to go away from that, which is fine. I think it was much better than what they're doing is much better than what is happening in the comics. But I also feel the shows are one of the rare occasions where they are better than the source material. Like they're both good, but the show is better than the source material.
Okay.
All I gotta
You
say is
scared me
that
just now. I was about to say, I don't know if I want to watch that.
all I gotta say is this: is
They're
that
messing with my X-Men.
when you
Yeah.
told me some of the characters' tone and with Tech Knight, I remember you telling me about Tech Knight, but I don't think I was ready to see Tech Knight, and I don't think I was ready for this episode. And I was like, wow, okay, so there's
I'm
just a
having
lot
a
of things.
lot of fun with this series.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of it on the plane there and back. And I remember watching the first episode. My sister had already watched the first episode, and like the first few minutes happened, and I turned to her, and she was like, "Yeah." And I was like,
this
"Okay."
But Gen V does the same thing, just like what The Boys did with his first episode. Gen V is like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is what you're gonna fucking get. Here you go. I
Yeah.
was like,
I listen, y'all know me. I love a show that establishes in the first few minutes, this is what you're gonna fucking get. Buckle up, Buttercup.
listen, all I gotta say is that episode 1 of The Boys just gives a new meaning for chopped cheese because Huey's girlfriend.
We're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get into it.
Why do you like bringing up old jokes, one? And that's so like 80 years ago.
God damn.
Damn, Val.
God damn.
Damn,
All
Val.
right.
I'm
So
back. Not
Seabass, that was in Parkchester times, man.
Seabass,
You gotta bring it back.
take us out.
Wait, before we go out, Tony, tell us about your new project coming up, and then we are out of here. Give you a little soul.
Yeah, so Star Noir Book 2, it's on Kickstarter right now. It's live. It's almost halfway funded. Go check it out. You can read the first 9 pages of Book 1 to get a sense of the story and the artwork. The second book is even more amazing. Everybody who has read the first book, they have nothing but glowing praise. They keep saying it's very immersive, and that's sort of the goal that we've been trying to get after with each of these books. So if you like LA Noir, if you like the X-Files, you'll just eat this right up. So come check us out on Kickstarter.
And at Comic-Con.
And at Comic-Con, yes.
And Comic-Con, waiting to meet you guys. And again, guys, thank you for tuning in for Nerds of the Round. This has been another Nerdy Tuesday. This has been your boy Sebastian.
Speak your boy.
see you,
Law.
Law.
I feel like you're trying.
You were waiting for something, weren't you?
I was
You were
waiting for
waiting.
something. Speak your boy.
You were
Law.
waiting.
Your boy Tone from across the hall.
Last but not
Yo.
least, Vmac. See you guys next week for Gen V. And thank you, Tony, for joining.
Yes.
Thanks for having me again.
And make sure
Of course.
to put out cookies for the Funkadactyls because they need it. Here we go. Playing that beautiful B music in 3.
Don't be so done that his outros is just
Two.
literally all one word syllable.
Get funky. Get nerdy with it. Fun.
Why are you the way that you are?